A book survived the fires in Spain during the 1500s. Within the narrative, Maya writers depicted a catastrophic flood that obliterated all in its path. Water emerging from a serpent's mouth, deities instigating disorder. There was a period when the meaning was not understood by anyone. Subsequently, the year 2012 arrived, and there was a palpable sense of fear among everyone. However, no events occurred. It has been brought to our attention that the date may have been recorded incorrectly. The actual forecast pertains to an alternate time frame. References were discovered regarding confronting our reflection and a significant awakening. The year 2025 continues to be a recurring point of discussion. The celestial indicators align with the writings of the Maya this time. To comprehend Maya predictions, it is essential to first understand their methods of timekeeping. Multiple calendars were utilized. 4 were utilized, with each serving a distinct purpose. The Zolkin was the designation of the initial entity. It functioned consistently every 260 days. While it may appear arbitrary, the Maya regarded it as sacred. A total of 20 distinct names for days were compiled, along with the numbers 1 through 13. This established a sequence of days that influenced ceremonies, rituals, and an individual's future. This calendar will assist parents in making informed decisions regarding their children's names. Every day held its own significance. Your entire life may be significantly impacted by the circumstances of your birth date. Subsequently, the stove arrived. We have gained additional insights regarding this matter today. It departed with the sun. There were 18 months, with each month consisting of 20 days. That provided them with 300 days. At the conclusion of the year, an additional 5 days were introduced, referred to as Yudi, yet they remained largely unused. Individuals held a sense of apprehension towards them. Individuals chose to remain at home or abandon their significant plans due to concerns about the day's potential challenges and uncertainties. Maya divination extended beyond mere personal dates. They assembled them. The alignment of the 260-day Solkin and the 365-day Helb is referred to as a calendar round. This unique combination occurs only once every 52 years. It assisted clergy in monitoring significant occurrences, such as eclipses, the transition of seasons, or sacred occasions. They utilized it to predict outcomes without the need for a horoscope. The Maya required more than that, however. They were required to document the significant dates, creating, dismantling, and initiating anew. The long count calendar was essential for this purpose. It was designed for durability over an extended period. The journey commenced with Kian, the most diminutive unit, representing a single day. Subsequently, Bulanul arrived. 1 ton, which comprised 20 days, followed by 3 tons, each consisting of 360 days, 700 days, and 14,000 days. That amounts to nearly 400 years. However, there is an important consideration. The Maya perceived time in a non-linear fashion. It appeared to them as a circle. Each conclusion marked the beginning of a new opportunity. The conclusion of a Bach ton was not marked by any significant negativity. A new chapter has commenced. In 2012, that was the common misconception among many individuals. The belief was that the Maya had communicated information regarding the end of the world. However, what they observed was merely a reset, a moment when a significant cycle concludes and a new one commences. The 819-day calendar represents one of the most enigmatic aspects of the Maya civilization, a subject that researchers have been investigating for over a century. The number appeared to be peculiar and unrelated to any context. Changes occurred in 2023, however. Following extensive efforts, anthropologists John Linden and Victoria Bricker have successfully achieved their goal. The solution was clearly evident before them. It is essential to examine a broader time frame to gain a comprehensive understanding of the calendar. It was necessary to view it 20 consecutive times. That amounts to nearly 45 years. Upon their action, an extraordinary event occurred. The alignment of the calendar coincided with the movements of the planets. All of them are visible to the naked eye. Every 819-day interval, Mercury aligned with it. Every 5th occurrence, Venus aligned. Saturn biannually. Jupiter, on the 19th. On the 20th of each month, Mars, the most distant planet visible to the naked eye, aligns perfectly. It was more than merely a calendar. The plan was substantial. The Maya were capable of tracking planetary movements and accurately predicting their positions hundreds of years into the future. What once appeared to be a myth was, in fact, a manifestation of advanced scientific principles. The statements made regarding predictions lacked any element of magic. They represented mathematics. However, that was merely the beginning. A significant portion of our current understanding of the Maya civilization is derived from a limited number of texts that were nearly lost to history. During the 1500s, the Spanish incinerated nearly all materials, with the exception of 4 preserved books known as codices. These were not narratives. These were authentic records, composed of numerical data, cyclical patterns, and celestial charts. It was inscribed on bark paper using organic ink. This manuscript is referred to as the Dresden Codex, and it is the most comprehensive of its kind. It was composed during the period spanning from 1200 to 1250. Inside there are tables that indicate the timings of solar and lunar eclipses. It meticulously monitors Venus's 584-day cycle. It suggests the possibility of storms and cosmic renewals. Many experts believe that these narratives pertain to the creation of the world, rather than foreboding forecasts. The Paris Codex was created during the period from 1450 to 1500. It discusses a topic referred to as Cthulhu predictions. Their statements were not unreasonable. They were associated with 13 distinct time intervals, separated by 7,200 days each. Throughout a span of 256 years, they accomplished a wide array of tasks. Werner Nahm, a researcher, demonstrated that all of these predictions were grounded in actual historical events. Once more, it is not a matter of magic. The stars and seasons simply provide insights into events. The Madrid Codex, being the third, proved to be more beneficial. It was created in the 1400s and provided guidance on when to perform rituals, engage in work, and schedule events each day. It assisted individuals in organizing their tasks in harmony with nature and served as a reference for everyday living. This is the oldest among all of them. The document is referred to as the Grolier Codex, or the Mexico Codex at present. For an extended period, there were doubts regarding its authenticity. However, tests conducted in 2018 indicated that the ink and bark originated from October 2, 2121, C21, HP 234 AD. This is the oldest known Maya manuscript. My thoughts were solely focused on Venus, its appearance, its departure, and the implications of these occurrences. Their gaze towards the stars was imbued with a profound aspiration that transformed their world for over a millennium. Their habitation spanned cities such as Copan, Tikal, and Palenque. From 250 to 900 AD, these cities encompassed far more than mere temples and palaces. They were locations to reference. They possessed more than mere crowns atop their heads. They observed the stars. Calendars and prophecies were not merely tools for storytelling. They served as essential instruments for managing empires and determining the timing of warfare. All activities were scheduled meticulously. The skies served as a reference point for every conflict, festivity, and construction endeavor. The monarchs stated that divine forces bestowed upon them strength. The foundation of it all was established through mathematics, scientific principles, and a profound understanding of time. Recent DNA studies indicate that these cities have maintained stability for centuries, a phenomenon that is quite rare. Their strategy was indeed effective. Their predictions regarding disasters were not made arbitrarily. They depended on predictions to navigate significant transformations in the world and governance. Changes occurred around the year 900 AD, however. The major urban centers experienced significant depopulation. The reason for it remains unknown. The Maya persisted, however. They have undergone a transformation. Their sacred knowledge was preserved through narratives and written works in the highlands of Guatemala and the Yucatan. The most recognized works in this category are those authored by Chilombolan. It extended beyond mere history books. The interplay of myth and fact was evident, alongside the integration of astronomy and memory. They did not fear the conclusion of time. They engaged in circular reasoning. Actions taken will eventually return to their source. They were indeed correct. The Maya authors of these subsequent texts forecasted something unsettling: the incursion of individuals from foreign nations across the ocean. The Spanish were not explicitly mentioned, but there were subtle indications. Individuals with fair complexions, metallic armaments, unfamiliar fauna, and the conclusion of a significant period. At that moment, it may not have been clear, but it was indeed accurate. In 1697, the final note of the commitment was made. They engaged in conflict with Natpeten, the final independent Maya nation, governed by the Itza, Snake Star. Their leader had anticipated the situation. According to scholars such as David Stewart, he believed that his defeat signified the conclusion of one era on the calendar and the onset of a new one. He did not believe that his defeat would result in death. That is precisely what occurred. On March 13, 1697, Spain assumed control of the city. The Maya regarded it as unremarkable. They had been aware for an extended period that victory was assured. The conclusion of the world was not indicated on their chart. It was stated that changes would occur for them. It indeed occurred. There were, however, more complexities to what we refer to as prophecies than merely straightforward statements. Their significance resonated through various layers, connecting rulers to the cosmos. A case from the 7th century stands out as particularly perplexing. Maya writers in present-day Tabasco, Mexico, inscribed an unusual element onto a stone monument in the year 6169 CE. This structure is currently referred to as Monument 6 from Tortuguero. The 13th Batun will conclude, and this event is inevitable, a vision. The Balonakteku event is a significant investiture ceremony. The last name Balonakteku may not be widely recognized. This deity from Maya mythology is relatively unknown. He was associated with creation and conflict, particularly in relation to the conclusion of temporal cycles. He is depicted with ropes and bags of incense, which symbolize sacrifices or offerings. The Maya did not perceive Balonnakteku's appearance during a calendar change as frightening. The plan was established. The mechanisms of space were in motion once more. A significant conclusion was reached, marking the transition to a new beginning. This narrative does not primarily focus on destruction. The matter pertains to power. Many individuals believe that the statue does not pertain to the concept of the end of the world. Instead, it likely assisted Balamaja in enhancing his image of power. He linked his reign to an extensive duration. This resembles a monarch today proclaiming, "I accomplished this just prior to the millennium." He is not informing people about the impending end of the world. He exhibits a high level of confidence. This reflects the practices of the Maya civilization. They utilize times to convey significance, rather than to imply that negative events would occur. Despite the passage of centuries, there remains a significant misunderstanding of the event in contemporary discourse. Concerns began to arise globally as the year 2012 approached. A significant number of books resulted in them falling off the shelves. Documentaries continued to air. Websites warned, "Exercise caution." Individuals claimed that the Maya predicted the end of the world. Hollywood also participated in this endeavor. The movie 2012 generated over $700 million by leveraging fear as a central theme. Nonetheless, the true experts on Maya were astounded. It has been stated that there is no evidence of Maya writing indicating that the world would come to an end. Far from it. Stephen Houston, an esteemed epigrapher, was among the most significant speakers. The discussion resurfaced regarding how Maya writings frequently address future times in order to draw comparisons with the present. It was not merely a forecast, it was an expression of artistry. The actions we take today will have significance 1,000 years into the future. The matter at hand is not a threat. It serves as a reflection. The communication was effectively conveyed, as evidenced by the Metropolitan Museum of Art, which possesses a segment of the Tortuguero sculpture. The scribes were recognized for commemorating a historical event by linking it to a significant cosmic date. For instance, they stated, "Our king executed this action just prior to the new year." However, the damage had already been inflicted. Individuals became captivated by the 2012 narrative and remained steadfast in their belief. It emerged as one of the most widely recognized end-of-the-world narratives of our era, alongside Y2K and Nostradamus. This was all derived from historical writings that were not intended to instill fear in anyone. The Maya were contemplating future events while residing in Palenque during the 8th century. Palenque is located in present-day Chiapas, Mexico. Unusual carvings were created in stone on the western wall of the Temple of the Inscriptions. It is recorded that King Kianakjana Pakal was born in 603 CE and ascended to the throne in 615 CE. The record-keeping demonstrated was commendable. They continued their efforts beyond that point. The writing subsequently included October 1110, 5.8, recognized as a distance number. What may appear as mere dots and dashes to us held significant meaning for the Maya civilization. The document contained a compilation of days. Upon conducting calculations, the result indicates October 21st, 4772 CE, which is over 4,000 years into the future. Indeed, the number is 4772. This future date is more distant from the present than the time elapsed between the Maya civilization and the birth of Christ. Nevertheless, they conveyed a distinct message on that distant day. A gathering will be organized to commemorate the reign of King Pakal. It may not be or could potentially be. It indicates that there will be. It was not merely an elaborate term for eternity. Their statements were indeed quite courageous. The Maya indicated that Pakal's reign and the celestial order he belonged to would remain significant for many years to come. They perceived time not as a conclusion, but rather as a continuous cycle. By that distant year, it would have been 80 complete calendar cycles since Pakal ascended to the throne. That amounts to 80 occurrences throughout an individual's lifetime. This is significant at this moment, as it alters our perspective on the Maya calendar. In 2012, many individuals expressed concern due to the belief that the Maya had predicted the world would conclude with the end of the 13th Bakatun cycle. The Maya, conversely, undoubtedly did not perceive that as the conclusion. This writing demonstrates the contrary position. For the Maya, time was perceived as an infinite continuum. Life continued beyond the year 4772. It was merely an additional component, an event poised for success. They embraced that moment rather than fearing it. Contemporary scholars utilize this Palenque prophecy to challenge the notion that the Maya possessed foreknowledge of the world's end. Their records indicate no signs of fear or concern. They demonstrate a steadfast belief that the world will endure, the calendar will continue its progression, and the legacy of their kings will remain significant. An extended period following their departure. A significant stone sculpture exists in the jungle of Quintana Roo, Mexico, conveying a narrative that is nearly beyond human comprehension. Stella Persei is a designation of this structure, constructed by the ancient Maya in the city of Coba circa 800 CE. At first glance, it appears to be merely a rough piece of stone. However, it bears one of the most enigmatic words ever inscribed by any culture. This is more than a mere book. The duration indicated by this cosmic clock exceeds our capacity for imagination. The Maya had a profound fascination with time. They believed it to be genuine. It occurred repeatedly and connected all elements cohesively. The inscription on this statue, conversely, extends far beyond that particular interest. The date being monitored is so extensive that contemporary scientists have resorted to expressing it in exponential notation. The writing consistently begins with the number 13. The numeral 13 is documented 19 times, followed by the addition of the value 0.0000.040 at the conclusion. Please be advised that this is not a standard calendar. As Maya scholar Linda Scheel articulated, it resembles a cosmic clock. Consider the mileage indicator of a vehicle. It resets to 0 each time it reaches 9. The subsequent number increases. The Maya engaged in various activities to occupy their time. This odometer serves a purpose beyond merely tracking years and centuries. It encompasses a significant number of years. Researchers endeavored to understand the significance of this date in contemporary context. When those 13s were utilized to monitor time, it was determined that the date would be approximately 28 years from the present. That is quite a figure. The figure contains 28 zeros. The estimated age of the universe is approximately 13.8 billion years, providing a context for understanding its vast history. The Koba monument indicates a duration that is 2 quintillion times longer than that. This prophecy contains no negative statements. That is not an interpretation of the situation. The Maya did not predict the end of the world. It has been stated that time is relentless. It continues in an endless cycle, extending beyond our visible limits. Concerns arose in 2012 as individuals interpreted the Maya calendar as a prediction of the world's end. However, they overlooked the essential aspect. The ancient Maya civilization was not anticipating their demise. The presentation illustrated the concept that time is infinite, and that the universe experiences a cyclical nature in its temporal dimensions, into realms that even the deities could not entirely govern. The Koba's Dela was not intended to evoke fear. The intention was to evoke a sense of insignificance in us. It prompted individuals to consider that we are part of something vast and infinite, where our brief moment in time is merely a fleeting instant. A notable reference is a book titled the Dresden Codex, composed between the 13th and 15th centuries. This is neither a narrative nor a historical account. It resembles a universal framework of principles. The artwork on bark paper features astronomy charts, almanacs, and traditions designed to harmonize life with the world. On page 74, there is a surprising image. A large water serpent releases a deluge from above. A deity known as Shak appears to be unleashing destruction upon the world through lightning strikes. The level of moisture is becoming excessive. Many individuals today believe that this image depicts the Maya forecasting the end of the world. In 2012, this scene was regarded globally as evidence that the end of the world was imminent. The view resembled a reset observed from space. The reasons were evident. The image depicts a state of bewilderment with precipitation descending from above, alongside representations of deities restoring order. However, I must convey the truth. The scene does not contain a future date. There is no designated time frame or timer. This serves as a cautionary tale presented through a narrative. Experts in Maya culture suggest that it likely relates to their narratives concerning the creation of the world, where floods frequently signify the conclusion of one era and the commencement of another. The Maya civilization holds the belief that the world encompasses more than mere linear progression. It remains unchanged. Repeatedly, entities experience demise and subsequently revive. The Dresden Codex contains some of the most precise Venus and eclipse tables ever created. However, it does not provide insights into future events in the world. The flood image may appear catastrophic, yet for Maya priests it likely served as a symbol utilized in ceremonies to interpret omens rather than an indication of impending doom. Nonetheless, individuals continue to project their anxieties onto it, transforming established knowledge into contemporary concerns. Let us explore the 1600s and 1700s. The Spanish arrived and began their colonization efforts. While Maya scribes diligently worked to preserve their knowledge and culture, the Chilambalam books made their appearance at that time. These records were meticulously compiled from earlier oral narratives, and they contained elements that were even more peculiar. Accurate forecasts. It was believed that a Chilam had the ability to communicate on behalf of the gods and served as a prophet. These books document dreams that are rooted in katuns, which represent 20-year periods in the Maya calendar. Each katun possessed unique characteristics, a compilation of potential outcomes. Maya historians observed that certain katuns experienced the same events repeatedly. Over time, they meticulously documented the events of each occurrence, creating a model that could be utilized for future predictions. The Maya city of Tayasal, governed by the Itza people, presents one of the most intriguing examples. In approximately 1618, friars from Spain encountered the Itza king. He conveyed a message that will remain etched in their memories. The Spaniards were advised to return at a later time as he was discussing a particular cartoon. The subsequent events were quite alarming. In 1697, after nearly 80 years, Tayasal was taken over by the Spanish. It occurred during the specific cartoon that the king had referenced. It may seem implausible, but it was not a matter of magic. The Maya believed that each cartoon possessed a specific design, influencing individuals to act in accordance with that pattern. This is the rationale behind its significance. The Itza were aware that unfavorable events consistently occurred when Ada Hall appeared. In the distant past, during the Ada Hall periods, significant urban centers such as Chichen Itza and Chacan Patun were abandoned. Upon the Katun's return, the Itza were already prepared for adverse events to unfold. Their prediction was ultimately validated. Individuals prepared for adverse events, and those events occurred. Spain also took notice. Their awareness of the omen prompted them to strategize for their final assault as the Katun made her turn. The Maya and the Spanish were both adhering to an unusual narrative that was inscribed in the celestial bodies. However, the Katun predictions did not solely indicate that they would face defeat. In a section of the Chilambalam, it is noted that during a specific Katun, individuals from foreign lands arrived with a new deity. This aligns with the period of Spanish arrival and the subsequent spread of Christianity. Individuals from Spain found it to be both frightening and impressive. The Maya appeared to possess an awareness that an event was imminent. From our perspective, it demonstrates something remarkable. These were informed assessments. These represented authentic methods of measuring time and fostering belief, derived from observed trends throughout various generations. The Maya had a non-linear approach to thinking. They possessed multiple thoughts. Conditions would revert to their previous state. History is not confined to the past, an illustration of the potential outcome. Many individuals believed that the world would come to an end in 2012. Individuals accumulated provisions, resigned from their positions, and anticipated a calamity that was purportedly foreseen by the Maya. It did not occur, of course. Discussions regarding an alternative date are circulating, despite the prevailing confusion and natural 2025. A new language has emerged, offering a fresh perspective on the prophecy, accompanied by an appropriate level of mystery that evokes both fear and hope in individuals. Recent online reports indicate that a newly translated Maya prophecy suggests that 2025 will be a significant year of transformation. The language conveys a strong impact. The area will be enveloped in darkness. We will examine our reflections in the mirror. Only at that point will individuals begin a significant awakening. In straightforward terms, it indicates that there will be initial calamities, such as conflict, flooding, and setbacks, followed by a phase of spiritual renewal. It is suggested that the alignment of the planets in early 2025 may be a contributing factor. They will align in the sky resembling 5 planets. Many individuals perceive it as merely a coincidence, while others delve into a more profound analysis. Individuals assert that this experience transcends mere stargazing. For the Maya, this signifies the conclusion of an era. It resembles the closing of one door, while another one opens. This is a statement that has been made previously. In the year 2000, the 7 Maya predictions garnered significant attention throughout Latin America. A number of these concepts address the conclusion of an era, characterized by fear and selfishness, the impact of climate change and conflicts on the world, and the necessity for individuals to develop mentally, or you will face significant consequences. However, there is a caveat. These were not genuine forecasts derived from stone carvings. The concepts presented were innovative, drawing from traditional Maya beliefs, while integrating elements of New Age thought. They were referred to as wisdom. Indeed, it is beautiful, not particularly old. It appears that a similar situation is occurring at this time. The phrase shadows covering the earth does not originate from any historical texts. They resemble excerpts from the Chalambalam texts. The writings produced following Spain's takeover address themes of death and rebirth. A section of the Chalambalam of Tajuman states, these writings were frequently employed to discuss past tragedies, such as the arrival of the Spanish. They have not been utilized to predict future events. An examination of the Maya worldview reveals their belief in significant cycles. The initial day of their long count calendar occurred in 3114 BCE. As of December 2012, it had completed 13 Baktuns, with each Baktun spanning approximately 394 years. The significance of 2012 cannot be understated. The Maya did not predict the end of the world. The 14th Baktun commenced on December 22, 2012, and is projected to continue until 2407 CE. There remain over 380 years in this duration. In other terms, 2025 does not represent a significant new year. The Maya employed multiple cycles to monitor the passage of time. The solar calendar is interconnected with the religious calendar through the 52-year calendar round. An interesting observation, the period from 1973 to 2025 spans precisely 52 years. In 1973, New Age author José Argüelles began to establish a connection between Maya time cycles and universal changes. Unscheduled occurrence. It is highly probable. However, that is the type of pattern that maintains an air of intrigue. The next celestial body of interest is Venus, which was meticulously observed by the Maya civilization. The Dresden Codex, recognized as one of the most sophisticated preserved texts, features a Venus table that enables predictions regarding the appearance of Venus and its association with ominous events, particularly warfare. The Maya believed that the appearance of Venus in a specific location in the sky signaled impending misfortune. It was noted that epidemics could rapidly disseminate and result in significant mortality, if thunder was observed in the southern region or during a solar eclipse. The times provided were not precise. They served as inherent indicators that alerted individuals. Could the alignment of the planets in February 2025 serve as a significant indicator? It is conceivable that an individual might interpret it in that manner. The Maya did not designate 2025 as a significant date. That section, this appears to be a novel innovation. The contemporary Maya elders have expressed their opposition to these matters. Prior to 2012, the leaders of the Guatemalan Maya organized public events to refute claims regarding the end of the world, emphasizing that their calendar did not forecast an end, but rather a renewal. The discussion centered on the transition from the fourth sun to the fifth sun, a concept rooted in Aztec mythology that signifies a journey of struggle leading to understanding. Since that time, the world has experienced a sense of instability. There were instances of fires, floods, conflicts, and epidemics. It is logical that individuals would seek out trends. The 2025 forecast appears robust, despite being influenced by present concerns and elements of creativity. There is a prevailing concern regarding the changes in the world, highlighting the necessity for a belief system to anchor us. This provides greater insight into our own identities than it does into the Maya civilization. Researchers such as Matthew Resto and Amara Solari suggest that these prophecies illustrate how contemporary individuals project their anxieties onto historical cultures. Answers are essential. If only this situation had been anticipated, we would not be experiencing such disorder. The challenges that precede success are precisely what we require.